Very good. They might be all off getting their webinar registration links.
Well, I think we've got 4 registered.
Okay. Yeah, I
Um,
haven't sent it out yet.
so it's a step in the right direction. But it's nice at this point anyway, just to have an audience that
Hmm.
we can speak to, and even if it's only a couple, then it's a step in the right direction. But the nice thing
Yeah, no.
about it is, I mean, registration attendance is usually only about 30% of registration. But now
Hmm.
we get to keep all of them.
Right, so they should be coming through on mine
They should be
um
on your Aweber, yeah.
as a thingy. I get a oh, I don't know how I sent that one up. It sounded like maybe I didn't set the already subscribed link. Yeah, I'll have to go back. I made that list for you quickly and sloppily, perhaps. Um, well, I could stick a note on my wall and see who else turns up.
Yeah, it's certainly worth a try.
Just for this right now.
Then we just have to play with the funnel
What?
and get that activated during January.
Which? The
The funnel for MPP.
uh-huh. So I've been listening to more Dave and Dave things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got on that 3,000. Did
The
you see that
4 hour one.
webinar? No, there's a I don't know where it seems like I had seen part of this. Maybe there was a hangout the other day that they did when they were all down in Florida, and they turned that into the coaching dot Empower Network one, how to make
Okay.
$3,000 a day.
I'll have a look at it then.
Yeah, well, I need to. I grabbed it. They have it set on a webinar, timer,
Mm-hmm.
and I missed it 3 times. I had to register.
Those replay webinars are a real pain in the neck when you got to sit around and wait for them.
Well, I just totally missed it. I like 10 minutes beforehand, I would sign up for one, and I'd still missed it. So I'm just not a scheduled person. But I ended up, once if you open it up in Firefox, when it's running, you can get it with that download helper um, add-on. So
Yeah,
I grabbed it that way. So we have it.
you just have to sit
I
down and watch it.
no, I actually watched most of it. I managed it the fourth time when the time that I grabbed it, I actually had it open, so I managed to watch it for most of that one. And then I just closed my MacBook, and when I opened it, it started where it had left off.
Cool.
I thought, well, that's bizarre, but okay. So I watched, and then I don't know if my internet went crapped out or what, but I didn't quite get to the end. But the gist of it was was I don't know, I really like the whole it's a I just like their whole intention, to let everybody just do what they need to do and be themselves and not be in a box, and all that stuff is so like core to myself that
I couldn't agree more. That fits very well with me. I'm a bit disappointed in myself that I didn't get into it earlier. There were just
well, what did you say
many...
that everybody who was giving it to you was Muppets?
Well, that was the problem. There were so many. It was just being spammed everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's like, I thought, no, not interested. I don't want to get involved in the spam fest.
I have to show you the let me find the post that I did when it was on, because see, I was in Orlando when they did the launch of it that Halloween last year, but I didn't know anything about David. I had never. That was my first encounter with him, because up till then, I had been like a solid, like loyal to the fault Jonathan follower, right? Because I'd been employed by them, and I'd been like I'm still like the only moderator in their forum, although the forum has completely gone silent. But it was up until that point that I didn't feel comfortable letting myself do anything MLSP related. Mm-hmm. But then Jonathan took like a year and a half off, effectively, and so it like there was enough distance between all that, and then they were going to be in Orlando, and I thought, well, that's really ridiculous that I could miss it. Hello, it's Virgil.
Hey, Virgil, hi.
Can you hear me now?
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Can hear you right now.
Great. I don't have to put my headphones on.
Nope.
Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.
I got two Santas.
And to you. Yeah, it's getting whiter and whiter by the day.
What's up?
I was just talking about the Empower Network. That's Tiffany.
I'm
Hi,
here.
Tiffany.
Hey there.
I'm just in the middle of cleaning house and stuff, so I thought I'd pop on. So
Yeah. We're just going to do quickie. I have a little more shopping to do, so whatever. Tiffany's not actually in the mastermind group, although by the time we're done in Austin, you will be, okay? She's on John's team, so we've kind of connected through that Facebook group that I have for his team and my team. And this is Kelvin and Virgil. I don't know which side they're on for you. Yeah.
I'm Virgil.
So I was just talking. Yeah, there you go. Identify yourselves. So I was just talking about I finally got that webinar that you were like, I don't know where the audio is after the registration. That one, she said yesterday. It was a $3,000 webinar. It's the coaching.empowernetwork.com thing. And then there was an audio after that. So I listened to the audio, but then it took me the fourth try of scheduling that webinar to make it to get on the right time. I had to schedule it 4 times, like over the course of a couple days, to actually get to the webinar to watch it. But I watched it, and I think it was actually a hangout from like sometime during the week. Maybe right. Was that what it was? I don't remember when
on the original, yeah.
Yeah, see, I saw part of the hangout, but then I didn't see the whole thing. But so that's what it is, and it's a good one. What did you take away from it, Virgil?
I quit. I didn't go all the way through it because there was so much stuff going on. It was just taking so much time. Mm-hmm. I had other things I had to get done, so I didn't. I probably only got through about half of it.
Did you get to? Well, probably.
I bet about that. The part with Toby Black.
Okay, after that, there's a section with Tony Rush that's really good, and I grabbed it. If you go into I grabbed it. We should upload it somewhere, probably, Kelvin.
Yeah.
I grabbed it to chop it up. Is it that one? I also grabbed the 4-hour one to chop up because I feel like there's just really core pieces that I really, really would like to be able to reference people back to.
Yeah, the 4-hour one is really excellent. Apart from the bit in the middle where that idiot Andrew Flanagan.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He kind of begged off on that at the end. David did. He's like, I'm sorry if your name is Flanagan. We won't go there forever. Just this one. It's just that one guy. So, yeah, that was good. So, just to catch you up a little bit, Tiffany, this is a group, the Mastermind, the group that you're in, the Mastermind Partner, MPP-EN, is something that I knew that I wanted to have an ongoing. That's what I do, is I create these ongoing spaces where people can, interact and have sort of like have quick contact with each other. And John just isn't. He doesn't do any social media at all. Like we're lucky to drag him in there on a thread now and then. I mean, not lucky. It's just like that's how he operates. He really wasn't on Facebook much. So I said to him when I joined, I said, well, I'll do a Facebook group, and I know that you probably won't. Do you want me to just open it up to your team entirely? So that's how that group exists. But the Mastermind Partner Program it's going to be 2 years. It'll have existed for 2 years in the February or something, Virgil? Something like that.
Probably pretty close.
Yeah, in February it'll be 2 years worth. And there's sort of a core group of people, and we've gone through plus now, because we started actually with a different business with John Moroz, and then Empower in the spring, and then Empower Network happened in October. So everybody swapped over in October of a year ago. And since then, I've been in January. I was looking for something for that group of people to be stepping up their. Empower Network still is kind of in chaos at that point, so having everybody continue to move in there was it was terrible. Kellen's laughing. It was a mess, and
don't answer that.
Well, I'm wondering where the phone is. I'm not gonna. Somebody here. So but I get so distracted so easily. So I needed everybody to step up to like a next level of training and something that was a continuity. So my resolution for myself in last January was everybody goes on continuity, because I was starving is what was happening, and everybody was still kind of floating around and not really necessarily. Actually, Virgil has probably been the most steadfast and productive of the group. So.
Because I can't get my chair to move.
Well, there you go. But no, seriously, you have been the strongest member for sure. But it's the people that I've always worked with have been people who have been confused or with little stuff, yeah. Well, and it's like, there's people who are perfectly capable to function in real, in the real world, but then you get online and it's like suddenly you feel like an idiot, and there's no reason for that, and so that's kind of been my, I don't know if it's what I chose, but it's kind of been who's always been drawn to my inbox and saying, I need help, but I couldn't do it, I couldn't continue to do it one-on-one the way it had been. And then we moved into this group space, and people were still not necessarily moving at a pace that, there just wasn't, there wasn't any forward motion. And Empower Network wasn't really ready, but they all went into it happily. We all did that. And then I said at the beginning of the year, okay, everybody needs to step up to a $97 something. So I gave them a choice of Empower Network or Matt Lloyd's stuff. Now Matt's was ready to roll, so most everybody picked Matt. So they were on $25 Empower Network and stepped into Matt's training, which I still am not sure if it was. What do you think? Was it the right way to go, Virgil, or what do you?
I think at the time it was the right way to go. But the problem I find with the inner circle of Matt's is you've got all these courses that are available, And I think the problem that most people have is they go into a course, they'll purchase a course and they get the whole course. And what they do is they jump around and pick out what they like and what they don't like, and they do the things that they do like.
That's one of the major issues with.
So they don't do anything in my opinion.
They don't get what?
Yeah.
Correct. Pardon me?
They don't get what?
They don't follow through with the courses in sequence. They don't. They jump around for the things that they like instead of going through the whole course.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm definitely guilty of that for sure. One of the things though that I found as I was kind of the puzzle to figure out was how to help people who were new and confused and not have to charge them 10 grand a pop. You know, there's this big disconnect on what's really possible, like, you know, as a coaching end of things, what's possible with people who don't have any confidence in their marketing, don't have the money necessarily to do it, may or may not stick around is a big one for me. I'm not so worried about the other stuff, but will they even stick it out? You don't know until you've gone through it with them. So they're a big risk, I guess, is the point. And so creating this mastermind group was sort of my solution to that. But then I needed people to step up and have a monthly commitment so that they were paying attention as much as I was. So that's what we did. We went on into Matt's space, and we still had it, and I think it really it had an important place because it really did make what was all the chaos that was happening in Empower at that point really didn't matter. It didn't matter at all. People weren't sweating it. People weren't, you know, it was just, we were just going on about our business in the mastermind group. And when it worked, it worked. And when it didn't, we were doing other stuff, and it was no big deal. But now that it's become rock solid, my vision and my intention is to go solidly into Empower Network with a side dish of Moby for the people who, and he calls it Mob, I always still call it Moby, for people who really, there's people who really prefer that atmosphere that feels, I still can't quite describe it, but it feels safe, I think. I think it's like still the learning zone. Like that's like the learning zone, and Empower Network is like the take action zone. So people who aren't confident enough to just go do, they feel like, okay, well, Empower Network's asking me to actually do something. He wants me to just learn some more, you know. Does that sort of, I don't know. I haven't figured it out entirely, but
I see it a little bit differently to that. You have Matt's character, which is,
well, there's also that
quite staid, whereas Dave Woods is really out
there.
Mm-hmm. And I have to admit that it took me a little while to take to him, mm-hmm. but he knows his stuff.
Yes, he does.
He really does know what he's talking about. And I mean, I've never been one for being inside the box. Mm-hmm. I'm unemployable, so I can relate to some of it. I'm just not as outspoken as he is.
Yeah.
I think you referred to a comment I made about Empower Network and Muppets at one point.
Yes. I was just looking for the. I wrote a post. See, the only reason why I even looked at it was because John Moreau's had, and he is that end of the spectrum. He is the quiet, reserved, you know, just go about his business, stay out of the spotlight guy. I mean, he just totally is. And because the reason why I even looked at what he was doing before that is because I had been working in Jonathan Budd's customer support, and as I was going through the sales over the course of, I was in there about 9 months, his name was probably one of the most consistent names that popped up for the $7 sales. So he was like driving traffic, marching along, driving traffic. And so when he popped up with this other thing that he did first, I called it our $200 thingy originally. He threw it onto Facebook. He had done a webinar or like a little sales video for it, and I was like, this is just what I need. I needed something to wrap this group coaching around. So that's what I did my mini launch process around was this, you invest $200, you get this thing, you're investing in this thing that we're doing, and you get all this stuff. And basically the stuff was the mastermind group and some coaching and some things that were material-wise. I don't even remember what was on the list, but so I would never have looked at that either, except for John Moreau's, because I knew that he knew what he was doing. So I was like, well, if he knows what he's doing, I'm ready to learn from him. And this looks like a tight little, it's not going to like take people off into the world, down any rabbit holes thing. So then when he did this next one, I was in Orlando for that Live the Dream 2 is where they soft launched Empower. They basically launched Empower Network without naming it Empower Network. It was actually really funny. And David Wood, hi, Tich. Look at you.
Tich The Great. How are you doing?
You're great. Happy
Long time.
Christmas.
How are you?
I'm good.
Merry Christmas to everyone. How are you guys?
And to you.
Just have to listen in. Go ahead. Sorry for disturbing.
Oh, not at all. I'm so happy to see you. Are you feeling well?
I'm recovering.
Well, that's the right direction.
Okay, go ahead, guys. Sorry about that.
Well, I was just telling. This is actually a Monday morning thing that I do. Well, Kelvin is making sure that I get to every Monday. That for my mastermind, we have a little mastermind group, and I was telling kind of the history of it because Tiffany hadn't heard it before. But
okay, go ahead. I haven't heard of it also.
I haven't heard of it also. Well, let me back up just a little bit. About 2 years ago, I started. I forget why I even started it. I wanted to move out of like one-on-one coaching, which I was doing quite a bit of, and into more of a group space. So what I've always done prior to that is pick an affiliate product usually and wrap coaching around it. So you go buy that and we'll do this, kind of a thing. And so I hooked up with John Moreau's in February. I don't even know if I had picked what we were going to invest, people were going to invest in, but Virgil left us. I basically put together what I call like a mini launch. So I had a $200 product that I said, okay, I'm gonna have a webinar, and I was new to webinars at that point, newish. We're gonna have a webinar, and I'm gonna give you, your irresistible offer to go buy this thing, and then we're all gonna, you have the weekend to decide, and then we're gonna move forward in this coaching thing. And so that worked pretty well as a startup thing. But then towards the end of the year, I started feeling like, this was the end of 2011, I started feeling like people weren't invested because it was just a one-time purchase. So my personal commitment to myself at the beginning of January was that everybody went on a monthly payment of some kind, which I had never done before. I'd never really insisted that people be on a continuity. So we used Empower Network starting in October, and then in January I said, okay, everybody needs to pick something that's now a $97 something because I'm starving, was basically the gist of it. And also, if I'm going to like model that, how are they going to, they're going to have to starve the whole year in order to make it work, which nobody's going to do that. Only I'm crazy enough to do that, Mm-hmm. So I gave them the choice of Matt's $97 a month or Empower Network. And at that point, Empower Network was completely, like up in the air, chaotic with all the processors and all that stuff, the merchant processors they were having trouble with. So most everybody picked the Matt's 90s. It's his inner circle. It's changed a little bit now to where it's $97. It's an inner circle, and then the licensed products used to be included, and now I don't think that they are. But anyway, they were at that point, so they had kind of like a little library. It was like instead of sending them into, I had thought about sending them into Dagan's, for instance, but his was just so overwhelming and these were people who needed just like some little steps. So we went into Matt's, and that's when, that December is when he sold me his license. That December that he talks about wanting to make his first $50,000 month, which he just narrowly missed that. But so then Matt started these.
Who missed it?
Matt, he wanted, last December was going to be his first $50,000 month.
Was it? Isn't it doing 300,000?
Now, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, yeah, his rise has been like straight up, pretty much. There's actually a thing, he was at Unstoppable 2, so the talk that he did at that with the graph of his numbers and everything. If you want that, I can send you that link. But anyway, so his license, it was actually kind of a big decision for me because it was the week between Christmas and New Year's, and I didn't have the cash. It was $2,000, but he owed me money because I had actually sent some people in there to kind of scout around, and they'd bought some things. And I said, he sold me on his license because I just didn't want it. I was just like, this is not on my radar. I don't know anything about it. It was funny. And it's been interesting because since then, every time something has come up, he's had to resell me. Instead of the people who clearly are sold first and they're just like gobbling him up, for me, he's had to resell me every single time. And it's because of that first transaction. So I did buy it, but I said, what I did was I said, look, I cannot take this to my husband. He will throw a total conniption. I can't do it. There's no way. I said, so if you really want this to happen, it has to come, you have to apply the commissions. That's the only way it's going to work. And he's just like, but he did it. So I was like, this reluctant affiliate. But then I had this thing to work with, and the people who were in the mastermind, I was able to say, okay, now you can go do this, because then I was getting 90% of that $97. So I said, okay, now if all of you go do this, and then we can continue to flow and things will work out better. He upsold, I think we sold about 24 that first month or so, and he immediately started doing contests, and I got sucked into this contest sequence up till this last one. Yeah, laughing. But that first one, he made. I sold about, it was like 2 in a row. He did one for leads and made the mistake of making it for leads, because then somebody threw all this crap traffic. I think it was Carlos, actually. So it wasn't even, I didn't know who he was at that point, but I think that's who took that prize. And he just swooped in with his list and sucked it, because it was for leads. And I was like, are you kidding me? You got to make this for sales. What's the point of having this license if it's not for sales? So the next one, a week later, he started another one and did it for sales. So between those two, and I actually won that one, but I still missed it by one sale for the full top cash prize. I lost $2,500 or something because I didn't have one more sale. It was really dumb. But I won that one, and between those two, what I promised people was that we would go through, I think it was for the his email marketing course. So I said for that group, again, did what I always do, is I wrapped coaching around it, and I made a Facebook group, and I said we'll go through the first of the 4 products, which is his email marketing empire. So from that group of people, though, he upsold them $18,000 worth of commissions to me. And I was like, well, that's a little different.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, there was nothing wrong with that, but it was completely, I had no idea that was what was coming, So that's how my whole year has been with him. It's been kind of, it's been a little bit turbulent, actually. It's been interesting, but it's been, part of that turbulence has been that he's just been in this massive growth period, right?
Yes.
So it's just been kind of I'm sure, I don't know what I'm sure of, but he, and he's done 2 events, and I went to 10 events this year, and which is more than I've done ever because my little boy was 6 this year, 5 last winter, and so I started going to these events. Anyway, so the one that was last October is the one where I had gone to live the dream in Orlando because it was local-ish. I'm 2 hours away or so. And
so my question for you: when are you going to be presenting?
Presenting where?
At a live event.
I don't know. Mark over said. Yeah,
How
probably.
about April? I think April 22, somewhere there.
That's my birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What is that?
Oh, how about it?
Yeah, but why'd you pluck that date out of the air?
I'll be hosting my first live event in April 22.
Yay! Where are you going to do it?
We haven't really decided on the location. Chances are it will be, the usual spots, Las Vegas, somewhere there.
Who's we?
Okay, right now I've got 4 presenters already. I cannot mention the names as yet.
Oh, you will tell me. You will tell me in private message.
No, I'll let you know. I've been out of the loop for most of this year. I've been lying in bed, busy dying. But I'm happy to report I just had my first $20,000 month after the whole episode. And I'm expecting by April to be reaching at least $150,000 to $200,000 months.
You're amazing.
What we are doing, right, is pretty much what all the money makers are doing. We are leveraging co-ops.
Oh, hold on, wait 1 second. Calvin, did you record this? Okay, I just want you to know that it is being recorded so you can tell whatever you need to tell and not tell what you don't.
Oh, wow. Thank you for warning me. We are basically leveraging co-ops. The way we are doing it, right, we built our own software, right? Okay. Everyone who takes part in the co-op, there's a software which feeds all the leads to the different people and to us, right? So whoever contributes to the co-op, they're contributing to building our list, right? So whatever front-end sales come from that, we distribute to all the co-op members evenly.
Well, that's nice.
We don't take a single cent. Then the app sells all the $497 products and app, that we take 50%. So all the co-op members make more than us. So basically what we're doing, we are building targeted lists. For us, it's for free. For our members, they get to leverage our team because we are doing like what Matt is doing. We've got people who actually pick up the phones and call these people. So we do it as a thank you for helping us build our list. So you find that in a single month, we've got 5-6 different co-ops going on. And we've got so far, the people we are doing these solo ads with, we've got over, I think, about 400 vendors right now. And I'm not talking your typical vendors. These are people, like, we actually went and found people who are failing to monetize. Let's say it's travel, they're travel blogs. And we said, okay, are you building a list? Yes. We are going to give you a certain percentage per month, and we've got access to your list. If the list performs well, we keep them. If it doesn't, we toss them. So that's basically what we're doing. So you'll find that we've got like 100 sales a week, right? Cost me nothing. The co-op participants, they love it because most of them are running away from Empower now because it's saturated. You can't market it anymore. So you see, that's what we're doing, monetizing everything.
Well, we want to do Empower, so we'll do both.
No, Empower is excellent. Yeah. So what we're doing, right? We take all these people, we monetize something else in the front end. Then we've got our webinars where we promote your different Empower products. It's easier that way.
Mm-hmm. So how do you do the split on if they're going into Empower behind that, how do you distribute them among the people in the co-ops?
Okay, with that one, right? There's a rotator, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everyone else is in Empower except for us, right? We only get the leads. We are not in Empower. So all the other leads, they are rotated. They don't all go to everyone like equal. They are rotated. You get
Got
one,
it.
you get one, gets one. So if, let's say, you get a sale, that's your sale. That's how it goes.
This could be a really nice fit, don't you think, Kelvin?
Hmm, that's interesting. Yeah.
I will discuss it if you're interested. The software, it costed a few thousands to design. I got the idea from Dagan. He created a software where he puts people on different lists. I got the idea, but we moved it around. So, like, the co-ops are the way to go unless you're already what? Rich. With me, when I had all my money, when I was making over 100,000 a month, it was easy. And I lost it all with all my sicknesses and everything. So I had to think of a way of getting that marketing budget without having to wait to rebuild my money again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why.
Well, you're a smart cookie.
No, I've got 3 partners. One is he develops softwares. He is busy trying to build an app to sell in Silicon Valley, things like that. So all I did, I aligned myself with the right partners. Now the next phase for my business is to get what? People like you, Dagan, Matt, all of those back, right, in alignment for my live events and all those things now.
Mm-hmm.
You get it? And I've got access to all this.
You're awesome. All of the people who are in Dagan's list publisher group would probably, I don't know if that's a conflict or not. I never know what's a conflict. I'm so like, oh, everybody help each other all the time. But there's a group that's doing that list publishing, which I'm in, that I'm sure would buy. They're like buying traffic everywhere.
Everyone in his group, I've got double the amount of people already.
Yeah.
You forgot I was one of the original maximum leverage students.
I know.
I know everything. Guys, my apologies. I'll keep quiet. I'll listen to you. It was nice to hear your voice. Let me just keep quiet now.
No, this is actually it's a perfect fit.
No, it's been
because here's the rest of the story for this thing. So I was in. You heard the part of it yet about I was in Jonathan's customer support? No, you came in after that, right?
No, I didn't hear that.
I was in Jonathan Budd's customer support for 9 months, and it must have been 2009, right up until where the big Google slap happened, and that's when we kind of parted ways. He was cutting down on staff, and I was like, I was ready to go. So it was like a perfect time for that to happen, and then that must have been like the spring of 2010, I think. Anyway, something like that. But anyway, so I was in there and noticed. Do you know John Morose?
Mm-hmm.
I noticed him just as a prolific traffic. He was making a lot of little sales all the time. So when he ended up going into Empower Network, I did too, and that was the last October, and I went to Live the Dream, which was the very first time that I felt comfortable going to an MLSP anything, because I had been like a staunch Jonathan Zone person. Like staunchly, it was 2 camps at that point.
Yeah.
But Jonathan kind of took a year off, and it became, and they were just local. They were in Orlando, so I went to it. I felt completely uncomfortable most of the weekend. But David Wood did his soft launch of Empower Network there. He did, and he didn't even say it. We didn't even know what we were like signing up for.
Really?
But
I
Yeah,
remember
no.
when he invited everyone, I refused to go. I refused anything without Dagan. I didn't want anything to do with it.
Well, that's all right. It's been a funny, lumpy ride for a lot of us.
A lot of people are
um,
making money from that. I'm impressed.
it's you'll you'll tune in better, and it's just a really cool. The whole thing is really cool, and it's all because of Dave and Dave's heart. I mean, it's all about um, it's all about people making money and themselves
Hmm.
included. But it's how can everybody
That's
make
how
money?
you.
You know, it's
Mhm.
never there's no greed in it whatsoever, and that's just it's awesome. It's like giving people the opportunity to perform in it's like I want to say it's a safe zone because you know you're not going to get screwed. Is kind of what it comes down to. You can work hard and you can see results from your labors, and that's it. So
I think the other thing is that's really good is you aren't getting pitched on
yeah,
every single webinar. You get so sick and tired of going on to so-called training webinars and you get hit for 97 bucks
That's
for doing this one.
MLSP now.
is that how? See, I know that they had restructured something. I didn't look at it yet. But anyway,
MLSP.
yeah. So let's go back to
Oh, yeah.
Live the dream too. Yeah. So I had never experienced David before. He did, but the rest of the weekend was decent. There were some decent speakers. I had never heard Ray Higdon speak, and that was good. And um, there were some different people there that I had never connected with because it was really an MLSP crowd, right? So Dave did this. He did this. It was like 45 minutes. It wasn't even that long, but he price conditioned us down with his big check under his arm, tucked up under his arm, and his bare feet. He price conditioned us down from $8 million.
8 million. Wow.
He handed out this sheet that said $8 million and some kind of crazy language, and it was awesome. I sat there like this the whole time, and totally entertained and totally entranced in all of his stories of how things had happened. And by the end, it was down to $47. He price conditions us from $8 million down to $47.
You're not saying no.
No, you couldn't. Nobody did. So like half the room gets up, and he's like, "Okay, now we've got 3 minutes to get those sheets in here," and he had called us all up to the stage. And everybody got up, but we didn't even know what we bought.
Do you have a copy of that presentation?
I don't of his 45 minutes. I don't.
Yeah.
It was awesome though. It was just awesome. I wonder if we could get it, but yeah, no, it was good. So nobody knew what they'd bought, but it turned out what they bought was what is now the $1,000 product in there. They've added to it, of course, but he was selling the 15K formula. He didn't even call it that, I don't think. He called it was like 6 webinars that we're going to do coming up of leaders who are going to, I don't even know how he framed it because I don't even know what they were going to, he just generalized about these six webinars that were going to happen. But what he was going to do was 6 weeks out, he was going to do, they launched it inside, in behind doors at that Live the Dream, and he knew that people were going to produce, and he was going to record how they'd done it once they'd done it. So he pre-sold what they hadn't yet done because it didn't exist yet because they couldn't sell it.
Nice. I like that. I like that. And I like the way, like Dagan always says, it's not what you sell. It's the package, the framing, the offer, right? If you create an irresistible offer, you sell no matter what the economy is like. So that's why, I've been studying copywriting for the past 3 years, from Gary Halbert, John Carlton, all of them, including Dagan Smith, story selling.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I can sell anything because of the way I tell my stories. Like Matt Lloyd, everything which he doesn't just say it, he tells you a story. And that story leads you to the sale. Everything, like I really love Matt. Matt, the way like he'll tell you about the vending machine, right? How to build an aeroplane, right? All of
Right.
are stories, right? Then like everything about it, like I just love it. So because I wasted your guys' time,
You did
how
not.
can how can I add value to
No, of
you
course
guys
not.
before I go? Ask me anything.
Well,
Yeah. Oh, don't forget, I'm a lead marketing. Like this thing, everything which everyone's coming out with, I've been through that already, long time ago. You can ask me any questions, anything, guys, before I
huh.
go.
Let's see. How would you build an irresistible offer around the $1,650 Empower Network package? It's the first 4 products.
It costs how much?
It's $1,650 for the first 4 products, basically. The last one is $3,500 by itself, so I'm splitting them in 2 parts. Like I'm making it a two-part deal. Like we'll have the people coming in at 25 because that's all they can wrap their mind around. Then we'll have a package that's $1,650 that's like a fast start, and then the people who want to do the big shebang will be.
Just to kind of broaden that, the initial 25 and 100 are continuity, so that's a monthly commitment. Then the $500 and $1,000 products are a one-off purchase.
Okay, with Empower, that one is pretty much easy because the way the whole system is built up, a person cannot say no, right? The only reason they'll say no is because they do not have the money. So the way I would like to put it, because I don't know the product very well, so it might be a difficult task for me. First thing is, you do not try to sell a person on the 25 or the $125 dollar thing. That's the first thing. Most people in Empower, they make that mistake. When you try to sell someone, right, on something that cheap, the only way you can do it, you can use the 25 to get the credit card out. That's basically it, right? Once they've got the credit card, move them to the top package straight away, right? Only when they say no, then you can move them back down, right? What that does, it automatically you price condition them, right? And you're bringing them down. So what you need to do next, why should I get it? Or why should I get it from you, right? So like, let's take for instance and dissect Metloid's offer. Metloid's offer said, okay, you join me, right? And every person you send to me, I'm going to pick up the phone and call those people on your behalf, right? So you can say, okay, guys, this is what we do. Everyone who goes into your funnel, we get them onto this webinar. And on this webinar, we're going to educate them on A, B, C, D. Then after the webinar, we pick up the phone on your behalf and close the deals for you, right? What have you done? You have already created a system where people, okay, all they need to do, okay, if I just plug my people into this system, right? That's pretty easy, right? Oh, I don't need to do the sales myself. That's pretty easy. Or there's someone who's going to pick up the phone on my behalf. That's another pretty easy thing. So which makes them like they have to be a fool to say no to that, right? So it's easier for them to commit to the 1600 package. Obviously, you as the person selling the package, you have to do some work now to make sure that these people are happy. You get it? And you tell them, okay, with the way Empower works, if you take too long to decide, someone else you might refer on this $25 package which you're on, which was the way you introduced them, right? On the $25 package. someone is going to see the value of what we are doing, and guess what? You will miss out. You do it, position it like that, it's to be difficult for a person to say no. Then you say, it gets even better. We are you say we are going to take.
But wait, there's more.
There's more. We are going to take $400 from each and everyone who purchases who gets commissions on the $1,600 packages, right? $400 is we're all going to pull it together.
Put it in Tich's. Come on.
No, and we are going to drive traffic as a team now. Now you have access to leads, a system of educating these leads on a webinar, and people to call back those leads and close the sales for you. That's an irresistible offer. Are you ready to get started?
I am.
But I don't want you guys just to agree to it.
Good.
Does it make sense to you? I don't really know the Empower offer, but does that make sense to you?
Except for the phone calling. Because that's like
phone calling
yeah,
can
but
be dealt with. That's not a
okay, go
problem.
ahead. Go.
The fact is, guys, you will not make real money without the phone. I know my original mentor, right, talks about without picking up the phone. There are two things. If you do not want to pick up the phone, you need numbers, right? So instead of, let's say, putting 1,000 people in your funnel, you need 10,000 people in your funnel. You get it? But what that does, it reduces your net profit. If you want to increase your net profit, you need a funnel.
Yeah, you'll convert a lot higher.
Yeah, I'm okay with the phone. I'm okay with the phone. It's not that I'm not okay with the phone. It's that it's a little bit, we'd have to frame it in a way that it's not counter to what, there's a mantra of there's no phone inside of Empower Network. Like, that's the message.
Well, there is a no phone mantra, but you'll hear Dave Woods frequently talking about
definitely.
Conversions
Hi, Steve.
to people. So the phone is, or contact, even if it's by.
But guys, if you really look at it, right, you are still saying no phone because you are going to call their leads on their behalf. So it's still no phone.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out how to. There's a very strong point of conflict with that, with what Dave's whole position is about phone. So, okay, then we're.
But guys, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Which is more important, pleasing Dave or pleasing your bank account?
No, it's not about pleasing Dave. It's about being in sync with the message of Empower Network in general. But if there's a way around it, then that's fine.
In sync with the message. I will find the webinar I'm thinking about. He actually rambles on.
Yeah, there's one. Was the 10th one in the or 9th one in the 15K formula, where he's talking about to set appointments with the people who've bought the $25 and upsell them from there. And we can do that.
Yeah, and talk to
and
them,
have hire an appointment center and just talk to the people to upsell them and be done.
No,
but I'm just saying that was that training. So, hey, I don't. Yeah. Do we know? Yeah, you're laughing. It's gonna be good.
Smiling. But like I said, Andrea, the first thing I said was a disclaimer. I'm not really familiar with what.
No. Yes. No, you're good. No, you're good.
Any other questions?
But we're so when are you starting your co-ops?
Not when am I starting. They are already rolling.
When shall we start buying?
No. Okay, no. The thing is, I did not come to sell you anything. I saw your post on Facebook. I was like, oh my God.
No, I'm not saying you did come to sell. I'm asking for specific information. So you tell me in the private message, and we'll talk some more.
Okay, let's talk on Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah, because today and tomorrow, it's Christmas.
Kind of iffy on the marketing conversation. You see,
No. I'll be marketing like this next couple of days. All the solos and everything, they're a lot cheaper than normal. So we are definitely going to be taking advantage of that. And also, what I'll need to do, right? I'm going to give you a couple of other things which you need to have in order to do solos through me, right? Because there are certain capture pages I know they convert very well. Because you get the leads, what's going to happen? You come back to me. So that's what I'm doing. And also I feel bad because I'm basically, guys, to make money online, just copy what the gurus are doing, not what they are teaching. Yeah. So what I decided to do, I know Dagen's business in and out. I completely ripped off Dagen's business. Right?
So did Matt.
No. I ripped off Dagen, then I ripped off Matt. And I combined it. So I combined the two. So now we are in the process of ripping off what? The Empower structure now. That's the next step. So that's what we are in the process of doing. So I'm going to give you the capture pages, which are going to convert, because our capture pages convert at 70% opt-in rate. Industry average is about 35. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Ours is 70%.
MCA has one that converts at 70. You should poke around and see his. Look at him. Look at this, he's grinning from ear to ear.
No, everything I do is about ripping things off.
Ripping people off. Yeah, I was just in Las Vegas at the list publisher thing, and MCA had one that he said converts around 70.
Is it? Do you know this guy called, what's his name? Greg Davis? What you need to do, right, for your Empower network, right, you need to look at what people like Greg Davis are doing, right? Greg Davis currently makes online, I think about what, 100,000? Last time I checked, he was on 100,000 a day.
A day.
He just recently joined Empower, and he promoted Empower for 1 week, and he was on the leaderboard. Then he stopped. Then I know next week he's going to do it again. You'll see him on the leaderboard. His name is Greg Davis.
Huh.
So,
I don't know him. You'll have to show me. Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
what he does, he uses email marketing in a slightly different way. So the slightly different way, if you go through his funnel, you'll see it. I'm not going to talk about it right now. But definitely with Empower, the only challenge which you are currently facing right now is the capture page.
Yeah. No, we're good with that.
Capture page, you're okay. Most people who are struggling right now is the capture page. Change it slightly around, you're okay.
I have a friend. I have a friend. He won't show his face though. He just ran away. Zane, my 6-year-old.
Okay, now Andrea.
Sir.
I'm quiet now.
You can't be quiet. We like that.
It's impossible, right? So do you accept my offer?
Hey, Zane.
But yeah.
You know which offer?
Uh-oh. Now I can't hear anything. I unplugged this as here. There he is.
Do you accept my offer for 22 April?
Oh, that offer. Yes. Let's do that.
Okay, cool. I'm going to, first week of January, I'm going to give you all the details. Okay. And by the last week of January, I'll need to know exactly what you want to focus on the stage, and what product you want to sell and things like that.
When I have to have that? What'd you say?
That will be the last week of January.
Whew. Okay.
Because now April's not far.
I know it.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
you don't understand how much you're putting me on the spot, but I can do it.
Your partners are right here. Guys, I apologize for disturbing you guys. I'm going to be quiet for the rest of the hangout.
You have to wait. You have to show your face, and then I can help you. He won't do it.
Sweet.
He
I'll
won't.
go
He's
grab
already
him and give
decided
him a
it's
hug.
not going to
Put
happen.
him on your lap.
So, okay. Well, that's awesome. That changes everything.
Yeah, that was
So I
really
don't even
interesting.
remember what I was up to, but the gist of it, I'll tell you the end of the story of the mastermind group. So the mastermind group will be 2 years old in the beginning of February. Kelvin has just come on board recently and kind of seems to be the piece of the puzzle that was missing for us. He's helping me follow through on like the affiliate linkage and, you know, staying on a little bit of a schedule and things like that. Yeah, trying. No, I'm not
Trying.
opposed to it. It's just I'm kind of flaky. And then
Yeah, you are.
we met during the Futuristic Marketing Alliance games. Did you hear about any of that stuff, Titch?
No.
Oh, you are just missed. Your year is just it
You
was
did
deleted.
tell me about it. Oh my God.
It's just deleted. So just short version of that. Jonathan and Mark launched Futuristic Marketing in August. And inside of that, they did this thing called the Alliance Games, where this is pure Mark, I think. He had everybody team up in groups of 7. And every week, every module, there was an assignment, and there were points assigned to it. And then, so if your group, like, it had to be like a minimum of 4 for most of the items, that 4 people of the group had to complete a certain part. It was something that was in line with what the module was about. So if it was Facebook marketing, you had to go post ads. If it was about the video sales letter, people had to make a video sales letter, like was an implementation part of it.
So you
And
said
Kelvin-
7 people?
Huh?
7 people.
Yeah, 7. Yeah, they had like the Facebook group's like 3,000 people or something. So you had to go on the Facebook group and either join an alliance or create one. And okay, so my alliance, I started out pretty good. I thought I had strong people on it. We did sort of okay on the first module. The second level, everybody went on vacation. They just completely did nothing. Nobody showed up, and myself included. We were just like, everybody checked out. So the third module, I was like, crap, what am I going to do? So I recreated it. I went back into the forum and I recreated it, and I got all but there was one person who stayed for that module, though he didn't continue after that one. So the third one is when you came in, right, Kelvin? Yeah.
Yeah, we'd gone through exactly the same problem. I mean,
I think that second week was really the make or break point for who was going to be able to participate at all. Everybody had these great ideas that they were going to, show up, and then the second week 2, they all tanked.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, but I was like persistent. I went back into the forum and I said, okay, I need 5 more people because I've only got one teammate who said yeah to showing up. So I got 5 more people, and Kelvin was one of them. Kelvin and 2 other people. So it was the 4 of us were really sort of the backbone of the thing for the rest of the time. But I had to rebuild it the next week out also. So every week, I had like a little Facebook group for us, and so every week I said, okay, who's in? This is what we have to accomplish. Got to get it done by halfway through the week, or we're gonna fall on our face. And then every Wednesday, it was like minutes before the bell kind of thing, and I'm like 2 in the morning submitting our thing, and but it was really good. So we came out of it, Kelvin and I, knowing that the work ethic and the combination was really good. So
It's called what? Futuristic market?
Futuristic marketing.
Is it still available on the market?
Marketing, yeah.
No, but I bet if you went in through their customer support, you could get it.
Okay, I need to get it. I need to see it.
Yeah, and in fact, really, if they reopened it, it would be the best time to do it because it's like the energy of the action taking, like everybody doing it at the same time, that makes it.
I think they'll reopen. They've got the webinar platform almost sorted.
Yeah,
Okay,
probably.
So I
cool.
think they'll reopen it in the new year.
Anyway, so the way he did it was they launched that, and then they did Unstoppable 2 as the graduation event. And talking about your event thing, one of the things, rather than selling the event, sell like a training ahead of it with the event as like a bonus thing. I have to tell you the numbers that Jonathan told me in September. The difference between the two Unstoppables was like night and day, just because of the way they sold it.
Okay, let's get into detail of that. I'm listening. You've got my attention.
No, I'm not going to record that because that was like he just told me privately. But I'll tell you.
Stop the record.
Stop the recording.
Stop the recording.
No, but anyway, the difference was that the first one they sold a ticket to an event, right? And it was a $300 ticket to go to this event it was May of, was that 2011? No, 2010? I'm confused now. I think it was 2011. No, I think
Was it 2011, not 2012?
2000.
Yeah, it would have been 2011. Yeah,
Really?
just after the end of the first quarter.
Okay,
2011.
yeah.
It was about 18 months between them, wasn't it?
So that was an event, and they lost like a bunch of money on it. And this one, the launch was a $2.6 million launch, and then the real buyers, ended up sitting in front of them at Unstoppable 2, and they, were able to sell them even more. So the first one was everybody struggled to get to the event, and they tried to upsell them to stuff, versus everybody they'd already made their 2.6 million on the front, and everything else is just plain old gravy.
Listen, thank you very, very much. That is worth a lot of money right there.
Yes, I know.
No, you've got no idea. That is worth a lot of money. I'm going to implement.
No, yes, I know. Yes, I know. No, he was very clear that the first one they totally lost money on, and the second one, because of the way it's added, the event is an option. It's not a requirement. It's not what you're buying. It's an add-on. It's a free event ticket, which he also sold the event. Besides that, he sold it at a T. Harv Eker event right before it happened. Yeah, so he sold the tickets themselves, I think, for $497. I can't remember, something like that. So the product was $497, and then he sold the tickets later for $497. Yeah. But we all got free tickets, a free ticket, and then we had to buy the materials that went with it. He had like a workbook printed for $67. But they didn't tell us that till after we had already. That was like secure your course materials for $67 was that part. But that was later. That had nothing to do with selling futuristic marketing.
I like this. I was listening to a training by Matt Lloyd, and he said he just decided to give himself a deadline on when to do a live event, right? So the day I listened to his training, I decided, you know what? I'm going to do exactly the same thing. So I put my date up there, and the next thing which I decided to do was, okay, for the past year and a half, in fact almost 2 years, Dagan has been trying to get me to do live events with him, and with my health I couldn't travel or things like that. Now I'm much more fit to travel. I said, you know what? I'm Tich the Great. Why not? So I am back from the second week of January, you're going to see me all over. All
You're
over. You're going to see my new product being released very soon. It's crazy. You'll see. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it. And Andrea, thank you very much. I will be in touch about the software and the co-ops. Then I will talk about the live event. Then I'll pick your brain on who else to invite to the live event.
Okay, can you three-way me and Kelvin with that whole conversation? So then I don't have to interpret it.
Okay, cool. But that will be after the 26th. Because today I'm going to fly to New York later on. Then, because I just moved to Atlanta, but I don't know anyone for Christmas here, so I'm flying to New York, spend Christmas with some friends, then back to Atlanta and roll my sleeves back to work, you know.
Excellent.
So I'm so proud of you. Oh my God, you know, this is, it's amazing. I see you all over, your testimonial videos and everything. It's nice. I really like it. Say, especially someone from the family, maximum leverage, girl, maximum leverage, So if you need any help, anything, you know me, I'm always there. Just inbox me. I'll help you with anything. I'll answer any questions, how I am and everything, right?
Okay, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much.
The pleasure is all mine. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. And I can't wait for you guys to reach 100,000 a month each and everything. Say that is the new target.
It's still a lofty one for me, but I'll get there.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
No, in my head. No, I believe it.
If you fix it there, you'll get it in real life. If you don't see it upstairs, you'll never get it in your hands. It's impossible. Don't forget, I started with $70. I was sleeping under a bridge for over 2 months when I came to this country first time.
When did you come?
First time it was 2008. So I came September 11, right? 2008. And right through the first week of November, I was sleeping under a bridge, right? Then 2009, it was me, David Hood, Tracy Walker, and a couple of other people. We started with MLSP same week.
Oh.
The exact same week, right? And I remember my blog first time was ranked higher than David Hood. It was always higher. Then I would get sick. Then I'll disappear for a couple of months. When I come back, David will be there and I'll come back again, get sick again, lose everything. Then I left MLSP, went to maximum leverage when it launched and I exploded. Then I had my heart transplant, out for 7 months. I had to restart again, now again. I was doing 110,000 a month. Again, I had a heart attack while I was driving. I was in London. I was out 7 months already, So I started again last month, and right now, I just had my $20,000, my first $20,000 month. Next month, I'm expecting to hit at least 50. By April, I'll be like 200,000. Because once you know the basics, once you know the basics, you can always hit them.
Cool.
You can always hit them. So, but I can't wait to meet Deg. I still haven't met him. I can't wait to thank
Are
him.
you freaking kidding me?
Do you know every time when we were supposed to meet, I would go to hospital instead. Every time we're supposed to meet,
not a good sign.
Yeah?
Huh. All right. Well,
So I can't wait to meet him.
of course he'll come in April, so.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. But guys, thank you very much. I've got so much work which I'm supposed to do. I can keep it the whole day.
Well, thank you. I'm just glad you popped in. That was awesome. It was.
No, the pleasure's all mine. if you guys
Yeah, it's been really
if you have any questions, just hit me on Facebook, but don't add me on Facebook. I'm not going to add anyone back. Just inbox me and I'll inbox you back.
I
The
think
best place to reach me is Skype. That's where I do all my work.
Okay.
So guys, arrivederci. Ciao. Bye-bye.
Happy Christmas.
Yeah, have a great Christmas.
Well, that was way cool. Hey, Steve, are you there? We can't hear you if you are.
Yeah.
I see your picture. What?
He said he doesn't have a mic.
Oh, there he is. Hi.
No, he
There
hasn't
you
got a
are.
mic, he's at work, so
And he says he'd love to see Greg Davis's funnel. Sure. Okay. Well,
yeah,
Steve,
I'll
I don't
pop in
think
the group,
Steve wouldn't have access
once we
to
go
it
in.
there, so we'll need to. Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah. Are we?
I'll
Can you
pop in
friend me,
the spots
Steve?
on.
And then I'll be able to send it, whatever it is. Yeah. Awesome. Well, that was nice. That was Christmas present.
yeah,
That was a good
unexpected,
Christmas
and that's
present. Tiffany said she's happened to head out to town. I'm gonna have to go finish up my shopping here in a minute too. But what did you think of that, Virgil? That was. Are you familiar with him?
I've seen his name all over the place over
Mm-hmm.
quite a while, but I haven't really followed anything he's been doing or anything.
I had never spoken to him directly before. That's awesome. I mean, we've private messaged a little bit here and there and see each other everywhere, but it's possible to like feel like that person and that person feel like they know you, like, because if you're both busy on social media, but actually never have had any interaction, really. It's really kind of weird. Yeah. Huh.
Mhm.
Well, cool. Apparently.
That's the beauty
And
of
I
these
guess I'm
hangouts,
gonna
they're a great
do a
way to connect.
speaking from stage in April on my birthday. Isn't that
Brilliant.
funny how things turn out?
Yeah.
Oh yes, Tich the Great. He is Tich the Great. I didn't know what his illness was. Apparently he has a heart challenge, which is huge. Yeah, he's very happy.
Yeah, and he's
Happy is
and he's
good.
looking
I love
forward.
happy people.
Yeah.
Very good.
Cool. Well, I
Mhm.
guess we all have things to
Definitely.
do before tomorrow. So I'd
Yeah.
like
Happy
to
Christmas.
say happy Christmas to everybody.
Okay.
I'll post
And I'll pass it
Greg
on to
Davis's
Steve.
link in the group
Excellent.
shortly.
Does anybody else have any last needs or anything we can do before checking out here?
Nope, just glad y'all got to see me again.
Oh, we are too. Yeah, thanks for coming, Tiffany and Steve and Kelvin.
Right, guys.
Yeah, next
Have
Monday.
a great day tomorrow.
Sounds good.
And hopefully we'll see you next week.